Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about entities. And this is a topic that's pretty woo woo, but if you are paying attention in the world and what's going on, I'm not talking about socially, just like this reality and how things are shifting and evolving for us, then you might realize and see that there's a lot we can't see, that there's a lot to this reality that's going on that we're being majorly affected by that we cannot see with these eyes. So I think it's important for me to address these things because I have a lot of experience with them, and I think at this time there's a lot of value that I can bring to a lot of people out there. So when it comes to entities, this is something I've probably been dealing with on and off my whole life, but I really didn't become aware of it until the last 6 years. And once I realized what was going on, at first it was scary because there was a lot of other things going on for me spiritually. But then I would say over the last couple years, it became something that I wasn't afraid of anymore, and I more and more knew how to address them. So in this case, the reason why I'm talking about it is because I think more people are affected by it than they realize. There's a lot of energetic things that we can be affected by. But first, I just want to say, don't be afraid of this and really try not to focus on it. This is why I don't really like to talk about these things, because people can totally go down the rabbit hole and go into, there's so much out there about entities, and I don't find it important to talk about all the different types and there's so many different ways that people talk about, getting rid of them or whatever, helping them move on. And I don't like to get caught up in the story and the details because I don't find it helpful. Ultimately, it ends up perpetuating fear, and that's the last thing that we want to be in right now. So, ever. So, I am bringing this up because I think it can be helpful to a lot of people just to be able to remind them of how important it is to own their energy, because we inherently do own our energy. This is something that we are born with. We own ourselves and the energy around us. And a lot of times when we end up vulnerable because we put ourselves in this victim mindset, and we keep perpetuating this victim mindset. This is really rampant all over the world right now. I mean, for a long time it has been, not just right now. But this is something that weakens us. We literally are creating this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. When we're in a victim mindset, things are more likely to happen to us because we believe we are victims. In this case, it would be victim to an entity attaching or attacking, whatever the word is you want to use. I just say attaching. Keep it a little more neutral. So when entities are attached, there's different things you can experience. For a lot of people, it can be like this heaviness, this really like just fatigue. And it can come on pretty suddenly. If you're fatigued all the time, it's probably something else, or it could be something else in conjunction with this. But, we're talking about something that comes on every now and then, and it can feel like really just heavy fatigue, grogginess. If you like wake up and you're groggy some mornings, you're like, I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm not talking about like you need your coffee. That's a whole other subject. But, that can happen. There's overwhelming anxiety that can happen, and to the point of feeling like you're losing your mind, and this is something I myself have experienced. This is something I just helped a friend with last week because she was experiencing this, and sure enough, there were entities attached to her. I helped her release them and let them move on, and there was a big shift pretty quickly for her. So there's a lot of different things we could experience because of these entities being present on us or in our space in our home, or even on loved ones we share space with. So like for me, when my husband has one attached to him, I can sense it and help him release that. So I think we just want to focus on how to own our energy, own our sovereignty, claim our sovereignty in the energy around us so that we're not allowing these things in. And a huge part of that is by taking self-responsibility, Because when we are blaming others and when we're being in the victim mode, we're definitely not taking self-responsibility. And we take self-responsibility, we're less likely to be allowing these other things in. We're less likely to be vulnerable in the bad sense of the word vulnerable. So, the thing that I do to address them, if they do attach, because it still happens for me, I still get in victim mindset. Thankfully, not nearly as much, but it happens. And when I need to release them, it's super simple. And this is how I address a lot of things in my life, a lot of energetic things. I use the governing meridian, which comes up and around the back, up the central column, and then down the back. And I swipe. Using my hand, I swipe like this. And I say, in this case, I say, I release any and all entities that are attached to me at this time, and I send them to Source with love and compassion. And I really try to embody and feel that love and compassion, because no matter what it is, I don't want to look at it as dark or nefarious. I'm sure many people have their opinions about these entities, but it's just not helpful. So I just send them on their way with that simple technique right there. It's so simple. It's so simple. And there's all kinds of different things that people, all these different really detailed, extravagant ways that people use to release entities. And we really don't need them. It's really simple, straightforward. I'm sure that's not the only way. I mean, you could probably just sit in meditation and send them out that way. If really through intention of sending them to Source. There's a lot of different ways, but that's what I do, and it's super effective, and I just feel like that could be really helpful for a lot of you out there. If you are experiencing a lot of the symptoms I mentioned, I'm not going to say that that's definitely the only thing going on, but it could be a major thing that comes and goes. There's other things that I want to cover in other videos as well, like energetic cords, or like having holes or tears in your aura, because this can also cause similar sorts of sensations and symptoms. So I'm trying to help get information out there around what it is to be an energetic being, because we are energetic beings. We're not just these physical meat suits, as some people call them. There's so much more about us, and as a result, we experience so much that we have no idea about. And we could just end up feeling more like victims because we're feeling this heavy fatigue and like not being able to think straight, or we're really anxious, or whatever it is. Like, we can end up going further into that mindset. So the point is for us to own ourselves, to own our energy, so that we're able to navigate this new world that we're embarking on together. So I really like to help others with that. If you do want help with this, check out my website. I can help you one-on-one, thedivineiswithin.com. I'm happy to support you.